Right then, hello, good evening and welcome. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I'm the brains behind Knickknack's Old Peculiar, the world's longest running boring blog, and behind Knickknack's Daily Teaser, which is a fun daily brain teaser quiz. I also have this tendency to do the quiz as a video version, which is why you're now watching me on YouTube, and I also talk on YouTube and on my blog about TV shows I've seen and about films I've watched. If you'd like to hit the eye that's sitting up in this corner up here, that'll take you to some more of my content. And to be frank with you, I'd appreciate it if you did. I could do with the watch hours. At any rate, I'm recording this on Sunday, the 11th of April 2021. And last night, Saturday night, on the 10th, I managed to watch a movie and I wanted to tell you about it. The movie in question? Once Were Warriors. Let me try and summarise it for you. Based on the 1990 novel of the same name, Once Were Warriors is the story of the Hecky family. It introduces us to Beth, Rena Owens, as she comes home from shopping and meeting her daughter Grace, Mama Ngaroa Kerr-Bell, and I know I've got that wrong, Miss Kerr-Bell, if you're watching this I do apologise now, but she comes home to meet her daughter Grace, while she's reading a story to her younger brother and sister. It also introduces us to Beth's husband Jake, Tamura Morrison, who I've recently seen on The Mandalorian, at a local fish market. It introduces us to Nick, the eldest son, who's working out at the local outdoor gym, and to Mark, who's also called Boogie, and who is in trouble again after getting caught stealing a car with his friends. Things move, showing us Beth getting home and having a beer to calm down after a long day before she starts to prepare dinner when Jake gets home. Gets home with some welcome seafood, but some bad news, and a worse hair-triggered temper, something that's seen later that evening. Beth's doing dinner for her and the kids. She's having a much-needed chat with Boogie about his big court appearance the next day. But what she doesn't realise, but possibly suspect, is that Jake's habit of bringing people home for impromptu parties is going to have very deep effects. Now, why, as a first thing, why did I actually catch Once Were Warriors? Frankly, there's a few reasons. Firstly, last night's not the first time I've seen Once Were Warriors. I saw it originally literally around the turn of the century, in the late 90s or early 2000s, and felt it was a very impressive film. Impressive enough to want to bookmark for later viewing, or a repeat watch. I didn't actually do that until last night, Saturday the 10th of April 2021, some weeks after seeing the last few episodes of Series 2 of The Mandalorian, where Tamura Morrison, Jake the Muss, the abusive husband, plays Boba Fett. I don't know if Tamura Morrison is any kind of professional martial artist, but he handles the physically violent scenes in both Once Were Warriors and in The Mandalorian pretty convincingly well. He's a big bloke and he uses that well. At any rate, that got me thinking I should see Once Were Warriors again, having remembered how fantastic it was. I felt now was a good time to give it another look. Something an old friend of mine, Donna, proud New Zealander that she is, agreed with. New Zealand's best-known films are the Lord of the Rings movies, and that kind of overshadows some of the country's other good films. I really should check that out more, I suspect. So that's basically why I watched Once Were Warriors. Now the important bit, and this is the bit you're going to be sitting there saying, Paul, get on with it, this is what you want to hear about, is Once Were Warriors still, this many 20 odd years after it was made, is it still a good watchable film? Yes. Granted, not everyone is going to go for social realism for a film presenting life as it is. That's understandable. Most of us, me included, want escapism. We want lasers and aliens and possibly all sorts of other weird bits and bobs that make slurping noises. But there are times when we need to be reminded that life can be tough and that there are people out there who aren't pleasant. We also need to be reminded that there are people out there like Rena Owens' Beth character, and more power to Rena Owens for playing a blinder in this film. There are people out there like Beth who end up victimised. I've been a barman, and I've seen customers coming in who are like Jake. They are men you really wish you could happily refuse to serve because they basically were extremely violent and extremely nasty, given a beer and half a chance. I am thankful I worked for at least 2 managers who were happy to support their staff and bar the serious offenders as soon as presented with clear evidence. Although it has to be said, one manager did take persuading. I'll be honest there. Glad I'm not working for them. I'd seen one person who is, or at least was, very unpleasant to his then wife and to his own mother when younger. Had I thought more about it at the time, I frankly should and could have phoned the police on a couple of occasions, but was more, understandably, I think, more concerned with my personal safety and getting out quick. I was glad to hear that one couple concerned, for example, got themselves divorced with the ex-wife getting out alive and relatively physically unscathed. I've known 1 or 2 other men who are, again, fine when they stay off the beer. Then there's the character of Uncle Bully, and possibly the less said about his raping Grace, the 13-year-old daughter of the family, about his part and that rape's part in Grace's eventual suicide, possibly the better. Possibly the better. I don't think I've knowingly known a child abuser until after their deaths, when some of the contents of their computer were found. What you're supposed to do in those situations, apart from reacting the way Jake does when he finds out about the rape, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know. What do you do in those shoes? So let's put it this way as a final point here. With domestic abuse on the rise under lockdown and alcoholism on the rise under lockdown, I think Once Were Warriors and films like it need to be seen and need to be seen for what they are. They are warnings. These people exist and we need to do something about them, either individually or as a society. They are watchable, and we need to watch them to know what we're looking at. They may not be telling us what we can do about it, but they're reminding us that men like Jake and men like Bully and women like Beth are out there. Just as a final point, I have a 5-star rating. Naught, don't go and watch this film. 4 stars at the top end. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 stars at the top end means go see this film now. Once Were Warriors got 4 stars. I think watching it is a good thing to do. I'll have another film posted at some point over the next few weeks. I hope you'd care to join me, watch the review. Feel free to hit like, feel free to hit dislike, hit the subscribe. Next time I do a film review, you'll get to hear about it. Have a good evening and Go watch Once for Warriors. Leave me a comment.